today I can comfortably say that I can have conversation around how to make our organization more inclusive, more diverse, and how we can collaborate well. Cisco being such an inclusive and a supportive environment, right? It's very rare that I've had a challenge or a difficulty with my visual impairment, unless I'm working on a tool where it's not accessible. But the leadership has always taken it up on themselves to address those issues. So I would say I have never had any huge difficulties or challenges. I wouldn't call it a challenge, but I would say it's about spending time with your child, right? It's the guilt that you have when you're working and when your child is in the creche. But with Cisco's creche facilities that we have, the guilt is a little lesser than usual. I love my work. I love what I do. Cisco is my second family. So the thought of coming to your second family is something that makes me happy coming into work.
Painting. It is one of the most powerful ways of expression of layers of human emotions. I love to go into the depths of those layers to the very source. Strokes of pencil at the age of 3 eventually morphed into fine images. It was people who caught my fancy, their underlying thoughts and experiences, just like the algorithms hidden within the software. Painting and programming, they both give me the power to express, to communicate. I observe people like I study the algorithms. With every brushstroke, layers of emotions come alive on my canvas. With layers of code, a software comes alive too. Painting is my meditative realm, the realm of my source code.
So this is why I love working at Cisco. One can simply be oneself. If you want to be a part of this, come join us today.
Hey everyone, welcome all to this special APJC webinar, Unlocking Your Potential on Diverse Careers in Cutting Edge Futures, brought to you by Cisco Learning and Certifications in collaboration with Cisco Talent Acquisition Team. My name is Vivian Chia, part of the Cisco community team, and I'm thrilled to be your host of this virtual event. This session, we will talk about how people thrive at Cisco with diverse career paths, what are the latest tech Cisco is working on, the way we look at latent and the kind of roles available. Before we start, let me cover a few quick housekeeping items. During today's session, we encourage you to participate actively and ask questions you might have about the diverse career opportunities within Cisco, our hiring practices, and value of Cisco certifications. You might notice that everyone is muted upon entry. So if you have any questions for the team, kindly type your questions into the Q&A panel, which you will find on the bottom right-hand side of this webinar app within the 3 dots. Our team of moderators will support and respond to your inquiries throughout the session or address it live during the Q&A time. So please go ahead to send in your questions when you think of any. If you are having audio or tech issues, please use the chat window and one of our moderators will assist you. What can you expect in this session? We will hear from 3 incredible Cisco executives sharing their career journey, followed by Q&A. And then we have Huma Hamid from Cisco U to share the certification journey and career highlights. And finally, Sweta Saraf from the Cisco Talent Acquisition Team to give you insights into the diverse career path and benefits. As we love to make our session as interactive as possible, if you haven't already, please tell us where you are joining this session from. You should see the poll question under the Slido panel on the right-hand side. Alternatively, you can join using the QR code. Thanks for the input. You can see people coming from India, Malaysia, Australia, Americas, and New Zealand, Chicago, Japan. Wow. Thanks for joining today from all around the world. Now let's move on to the next question. What active Cisco certification you currently hold? We give you a moment to share and review the results as well. You can see CCNA, CCNP, and others. Cisco Meraki, AI Green Belt, thank you for the participation. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you our panelists today. We have Anand Patel, Doreen Chen, and Xiaonan Kathy Lee. Hi panelists, I'm so excited to chat to you today about your career journey and experience working with Cisco. To start off, we know that investing in people is key for success in businesses. And Cisco is well known internally and maybe externally as well as one company, many careers. Anand, you earned your master's in electrical engineering and bachelor degree in electronics and telecommunications engineering, and you're currently the senior director of CX Technology Office for APJC with over 25 years of experience in the tech sector. What has been the secret sauce for your success, and how has Cisco supported you through the journey?
Thank you, Vivian. And first of all, let me say it's such a privilege for me to be here along with Doreen and Shiona to share my story with the audience here. So thank you for joining us, everyone. So, back to my story. Like Vivian mentioned, I'm actually a telecom engineer by education. And while I was in college, I always wanted to be in telecom. In fact, my first two jobs were in the telecom sector. My first role in Cisco was the result of my skills in telecom, in optical to be specific. It so happens that at that point in time, Cisco had acquired a company, a division of Pirelli, which was into optical telecom networking equipment. And Cisco needed someone with those skills within their organization. That's how it matched. In 6 months, I was actually in Monza, Italy, doing hands-on training on that platform. But after I came back, within 3 months, Cisco decided that they were not going to pursue that business. And therefore, they shut that division down and divided all of that IP and expertise into different engineering units within Cisco. Needless to say, I was left with a position where the only thing that I knew was not valuable anymore within the company. So I had two options with me, right? Either I look for another role or I reinvent myself. That's when I decided I needed to reinvent myself. I took my CCNA, I took my CCNP, and I started working as a systems engineer for all of the enterprise and commercial customers within the India region. After that, there was no looking back, because now when I went and spoke to a customer and they said, I'm running OSPF or I'm running spanning tree, I actually knew what that meant. I then graduated to managing telecom customers within India, which is my original dream. That was a lot more complex, but that was challenging and interesting as well at the same time. Somewhere down the line, I took my CCI. I didn't really do very well, but I realized that I was better at managing people. So I became a people leader. And fast forward to 2018, I joined back as the SE director in the India business. I did that for about 4.5 years. And today, here I am leading the technology office for the customer experience organization in the Asia Pacific, Japan, and China region. So if I look back and think about what really helped me, there were a few things that I can think of. First of all, I think it was a mindset to adapt to change, just the openness to reinvent myself when I thought everything was not going my way. Secondly, at a crucial time in my career, it was certifications that allowed me to gain my confidence back, allowed me to stand on my own 2 feet and say, yes, I can talk to people, I can talk about technologies that I didn't know about earlier. And lastly, it was about my leaders at Cisco giving me the opportunity to grow and explore and to shine. So I think there you have it. It's been a long journey. Not everything that I could cover within 3 minutes, but it's been a fantastic experience for me. And I think Cisco has been really an enabler in my career. Back to you, Vivian.
Thanks for the sharing. What about you, Kathy? You are a systems engineer and currently the global virtual sales engineering leader, managing a high-performing team across the APJC region. Can you share with us a moment or journey or project where certification made a significant difference for yourself or your team member?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kathy. I'm based out of Beijing. I'm now leading a specialist team. I wish I can see you so we can see each other in this webinar. So I feel I share a lot with Anand, share a lot the same with Anand when he was sharing. When I joined Cisco 15 years ago, I was a university graduate without any industry experiences. My first official role in Cisco was the system engineer, the same as Anand, for China Unicom, right? China Unicom account. So when I joined the team, I was really a rare. They never hire people without any experiences. The team was full of very experienced engineers. I have a young face that people not feel comfortable. But as Anna said, right, the certification I hold, right, the training I got in Cisco gives me a lot of confidence. Even though I have a young face, but when customer has a technical question, I answer it quickly. Yeah, the certification gives me confidence, and I think the confidence earned me trust in my early careers. And another quick example is 2 years ago when I was hiring a security specialist. There's a candidate who has very strong SD1 experience, but he showed interest on the security area, and he passed the security, the CCIE, outside his work. And all of the interviewers, we really liked him because of his passion on learning, his good way of explanation on the technology, and his passion on customer-facing work. So we had him eventually, even though he never done any security projects in real, but we trusted his skill sets with certification, and we trusted all the other skill sets. And now it turns out to be a very, very good security specialist in my team. So in a quick summary, I like to share is if you are going to a new area of business or technology, I think the certification gives you a foundation and gives you confidence and gives you the opportunity of access. But we all know certification is not everything, right? The experience you have, right? And your passions and your communications also important in the job. But I think certification is a basic, is a basics.
Thank you, Kathy. And Doreen, with nearly 20 years of dedicated experience in talent acquisition and currently leading the APJC sales and marketing talent acquisition team, as well as championing the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at Cisco, can you please share with us how does Cisco support its employees in developing their skills and advancing their careers?
Thank you so much, Vivian. And it's so great to hear the story from Anand and Kathy. And I do echo, just what they mentioned, especially I remember Anand mentioned about how his career is being supported by Cisco, right? And I do think, Vivian, you're well said that Cisco is investing in a lot in our talent, which is true because at Cisco, we truly believe our people are our greatest asset. Right? That's how we empower our people to grow both personally and professionally. And our core career belief, and it has been mentioned, I think it's Cisco own their career by themselves, and that it's supported by the leader. And at the same time, it's actually enabled by Cisco. And with that, it's not only our employee have the opportunity to develop and grow and have the skill for the future, it's also enable or ensure Cisco as a company that we have the need of the skill for the future. And we offer, incredible amount of the different, learning and certification opportunities. And Kathy and Anna both mentioned about it. And for myself, I saw the slide, very interesting. There are people mentioned about Cisco Green Belt, Generative AI Green Belt certification. And that is actually one of the certifications that I recently have. And I believe the people who input on the Slido are the, recruitment team and the HR team that we recently have a huge, investing in that to upskill ourselves. And at the same time, even we are HR, we wanted to stay ahead of the curve. We wanted to make sure, we are in this evolving landscape together. Apart from learning, we also enable, empower, or encourage our employee to build their connections and building their personal brand, either within or outside the Cisco. So that is through, the various different cross-functional projects and innovation challenge, which really people can, having the different perspective and different experience and to build the valuable connections with different organizations and different people. And also through the, mentorship, the sponsorship. In Cisco, we have a lot of mentorship program and sponsorship program that allows you to connect into a leader that understanding about the growth area to further develop yourself and grow yourself. Of course, that's supported by the leader, right? The leader will help you to find the right connection, right mentor, and also sponsorship. Beyond that, Cisco also providing the stretch assignment opportunity. And we have a lot of folks, participant in the stretch assignment opportunity, which is even beyond your current scope, which that you're bridging the skill for the future. Maybe you're not ready for the next role yet, but that allows you to have the opportunity to, get ready for the area that you're interested. But having said that, right, there's one important program I do want to highlight here. I'm super passionate and proud of that, which is the Cisco Internal Movement Program. We call People Movement. So that is starting from 2010. And I believe Cisco is ahead of this journey in the industry compared with a lot of external key competitors. So we truly investing in our people and trust them to grow their career and to openly apply the roles within Cisco, regardless whether that's within your organization or outside organization, within the region or outside the region. And we remove the possible roadblock and obstacles for our employee to do that. So with that, we truly empower employee to, own the decision of their career journey within Cisco. And with that, at an approximately level, we always have 40% of our hiring is coming from internal, right? I can talk about I've already talked a lot. I can talk a day about how Cisco advancing, our employee about their career, but we only have very limited of the time. All in all, I want to emphasize that we truly empower each of our employees to develop their own career path. And every career path could be different. every career journey can be different. Cassie, Anand, and also myself, all of our career journey are different. That truly become a diverse path for everyone in Cisco, right? And then employee can truly achieve their aspiration, and that is contributed to our shared success at Cisco.
Thanks, Doreen. You touched on diversity, and diversity is such a huge buzzword for all of us. Can you help us to understand what does DEI mean at Cisco, and how does the company ensure a diverse and inclusive approach in its talent assessment and recruitment process?
Yeah, thank you so much, Vivian. I believe DEI is just it's actually more than a buzzword, right? And they're actually the core of who we are, who Ciscoing are, and how do we operate. And we truly believe that bringing together the different perspective and different experience is key to driving innovation and creating a vibrant workplace. And while you're talking about what does that mean at Cisco of DEI, right? So diversity at Cisco, I believe, means how do we embrace the difference? How do we truly have the unique background and perspective and experience of our employee, and equity, which ensure that everyone have the equal opportunity to thrive. Inclusion is about how we creating an environment, a safe space where everyone feel valued and respected. And at Cisco, we have 6 principles, and take difference into heart is one of the core principles. And I believe everyone here is committed to that principle. It's not about we say it, but we actually commit to that. And your second question is about how do we ensure a diverse and inclusive approach in talent assessment and recruitment, right? So, and that is my job, right? That is that is related to recruitment. So I'm a I think Vivian introduced myself at the very beginning. I'm a talent acquisition leader for sales marketing, and I'm championing DI, and I'm leading the DI initiative across APJC partner with our leaders, and to ensure that we have the DI, we have the inclusive and equitable process in the assessment and recruitment. And again, that is how do we operate, and we actually have inclusive process from every step of hiring. That is starting from how do we attract, and how do we finding the talent, and how do we assess the talent, as well how do we make an inclusive decision. So before we even start the process, we actually everyone has to participate in the in certified interview and certified hiring certification. I saw the space was actually calling out that you have the Cisco certified interview certification. I was laughing because that is true. Everyone who is a hiring manager or who is conducting interview or the recruiter, we have to make sure we have been certified and we have been participant in the inclusive hiring training. And we also been very conscious of, how do we attract the talent in terms of our posting, the content go to the market that will really welcome everyone. Welcome everyone have different perspective, different background, as well as, even you are in the underrepresented group, in our messaging will welcome everyone. It's truly there in our mind and also in our writing, in the content that you are seeing. And of course, we're committed to, assessing and outreach to the different type of the talent whenever you are, whether you are underrepresented group. So our team is committed to partner with the different organizations to finding those talent and to finding the best talent wherever you are. And I believe assessment, Vivian has been mentioned, I think that's also critical. So we have to ensure that every hiring process, we have a diverse panel. So we have the diverse or inclusive assessment view. And in some of the organization that we're having the skill-based assessment, we have the blind hiring. So we don't actually looking at where you're coming from, right? And which, school you're coming from, or which employer you were possibly working for. It's purely assess your skills, whether you had the skill for the job. So those are the, something that I can quickly come up with, but it's much more beyond that. We actually consistently, enable the team, the recruiters, the leaders to make sure that's the fundamental of how we operate in hiring. Thank you, Vivian.
Thanks for the useful overview. Kathy, can you share your journey with us? How is it like for you to climb the career ladder at Cisco in a technical role, especially as the female engineer?
Sure. When I introduce to people, I often say I have a growing career in Cisco. I never feel I settle in one place. But even though from the job title perspective, it's actually quite smooth, the path for me. I've always been in the past 15 years, I've always been in the pre-sale engineering organization, from associate system engineer to system engineer, different grade of system engineer, and then to the, today the leader of solution engineering. It's been fulfilling the journey, I feel, in the past being the female young early in career engineers, and to being the people leader, start from zero, right? Leadership experiences. I often the minority in the group I working with, but I never feel alone. We have a lot of different community in Cisco. We have women of Cisco, women in engineering, right? That global team, right? Regional virtual team, global virtual team. A lot of these communities, people support each other and advocate for each other's growth. So through these communities, I got a lot of opportunity to connect with people and to expose myself. That brings me, I think today, as giving back, I'm myself also passionate about developing young talents. This year, I have 2 engineers joined the team who was born after 2000. I feel they are really, really young. A lot to learn from them. Yeah, it gives me energy, right? See them grow. In terms of the community, I shared, I'm also the co-lead of a community called CAN, Cisco Asian Affinity Networking, who includes employees, right, globally, and they all come from Asian. So we celebrate the Asian cultures together, and we advocate for the Asian talented development. We often organize activities. We invite the talent, right, the people from different countries, may right, share their stories, share their experiences. And you also can hear some openings, some job opportunity, right, coming from the community. Thanks, David.
Thank you so much for sharing to give us a glimpse into a Cisco culture. I have 2 more questions for Anand, and before we move on to the Q&A. So for the audience, if you have any questions for our panelists, please send them in through the Q&A panel, and we will answer some of the questions live. So Anand, I know you have quite an interesting journey here, because you left Cisco after 11.5 years. And then after working in 2 other companies, you came back, and now it's almost 6 years with Cisco again. Do you mind to share your story with us?
You know, Vivian, there's a term for people like us who actually went out of Cisco and came back. We call it boomerangs. And there's quite a few of us actually. So, you know, yeah, I spent about 11.5 years with my first stint in Cisco. I had a fantastic time. I had a very, very wonderful time. I experienced growth both on the career side and my experience. And I'm really thankful to Cisco. It helped me shape who I was. And those were the formative years of my career, and something that I truly, truly am thankful for. Most importantly, what I made during those years was some fantastic human connections, colleagues who are now the best of friends, people that I really enjoy working with. They make a difference at the workplace. Um, so I did move out. I moved on to get a different kind of experience working with other large brands in the technology world. But after 8 years, I got a call from one of those colleagues, an old colleague and a friend, saying, there's this position in Cisco. We think you'd be good for it. Would you consider it? And I didn't give it a second thought. I said, yes, of course I would. And why I did that is just, I'll say one word. it's the culture. I truly relish what we have here in Cisco as the culture. I believe it makes you the best version of who you are. And you just need to understand, you need to experience it to understand it. The connections, the support, the mindedness, the growth mindset, the lining up behind what a customer needs. It's just so energizing. And that's one of the biggest reasons for me to come back. Back to you, Vivian.
Certainly glad that you're back with us. One more question for you. You lead a team of senior technical architects across the region. What's your take on diversity and innovation?
Oh, that's a great question, Vivian. So you're right. I till about 15 months ago, almost all my life and my experience had spent in the India market. And I'm very thankful I got this opportunity to move out of India into Singapore. Now I manage a fairly distributed team who are based in a lot of the countries around APJC. So my role actually entails working with a lot of these countries across the region as well. The experience has been, again, simply fantastic. It's not just about the different cultures you have, but it's also the different ways of thinking. Each customer, every person that you talk to, brings a different perspective. The level of maturity, the level of adoption of technology, the way that they're thinking about their own businesses, addressing their own customer needs, is just so much richness in there. That adds to my own experience. But at the same time, what I can see is innovation. All of us in the team contribute to ideas, contribute to ways of doing things better, especially when it comes to the interest of our customers. So having these various different experiences and perspective, I think, is critical to be able to make progress and to drive innovation and a positive impact on the outcome, especially when it comes to outcomes for our customers.
Thanks, Anand. And now I think we can move on to our Q&A time. I can see quite a lot of questions already being asked and answered, so please keep it coming. In the meantime, just let me get a couple of questions here to kickstart. For Doreen, we're interested and curious to know what kind of skills are hot at Cisco these days and what's really in demand.
Okay, thank you, Vivian. Maybe I can start if Anna, Cassie, you have any other, you can add on. I think what is really in demand, if I would say from like a solution or technology perspective, networking and security is really something in demand in the most couple of years. And I think how do we have the talent who is able to provide a security solution to our client and to understand the fundamental technology about that. And the second one is cloud computing, and that is again that is have been in demand in Cisco, and I believe in a lot of company as well for a couple of years. And how do we understanding about the cloud platform and have a deep understanding about the cloud native like language and technology is really key for us to scale the solution, to build a scalable and efficiency solution for our client. Last but not the least, I'm pretty sure everyone here will agree that AI, Cisco actually investing a lot in AI. It's about how do we having ourselves to become an AI company, that have it efficiency level, and also how we enable our customer for their AI solution. Right, so it's across the board for all of the organization, including engineering, including CX, including sales marketing. I think we all need that talent. It's the in-demand talent for Cisco. However, all in all, those are the technology skills or related skills. But I do agree what Anna has been mentioned. Nowadays, change isn't change. 6 months compared with today, like 6 months back or 1 year back, it's totally fast evolving world today. So how do we have adaptability, resilience, and flexible to the change? And how do we stay ahead of the curve? how do we have the growth mindset to have it? I think that's really critical. So those are the soft in-demand skills we will be looking at today for sure. And I think that will be the skill for quite a while or even in the future.
Thanks for taking up the question. And Anand, I think we have some people who like to know what are the latest technologies you and your team are working on.
So look, we are driven a lot by our customers. And if you think about what's happened over the last 3 to 4 years, going back to the years of COVID, our customers are seeing a lot of change in their IT infrastructure, in their technical environment. And so there's been cloud, there's been hybrid work, and with that comes the need for cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is definitely one of the areas that we have solutions in. We're pretty strong on. We're helping our customers with. There's also the need for efficiency and automation as we start to move more remote, as people want to, and as companies start growing global. Automation and the ability to do things in an automated fashion, especially when it comes to our network operations, our security operations. That's another thing that we're thinking about. How do we solve those problems for our customers? And like all good corporate citizens, all of our customers, as is Cisco, are thinking about how do we do our work but still minimize our impact on the environment. So sustainability and the impact of our solutions as well as our customers' solutions on the environment. How do we make an impact to that? How do we make a difference? That is something that we're looking at. The two most common letters that will get thrown around, I'm sure, when you talk about technology, A and I. Artificial intelligence, again, is something that we're looking at. I saw Rohan answering a question just now about what's our role in AI. You should definitely go to that link and check it out. There's some wonderful, wonderful, innovative things that we're doing around AI as well. And last but not least, I think there's, most of you know Cisco and went out in the market and acquired this large company called Splunk. We're looking to integrate that and look at what that gives us in terms of capability that we can now start to deliver for our customers. So there's observability, there's an overall security operations management capability, and so on and so forth. So, there's a myriad of things, but going back to the point that Doreen made, right? In this day and age, technology, it has become a bit of a hard skill. The soft skill that you need to have with you is the aptitude and the attitude to be able to learn quickly and learn fast. Because just like AI took off, right? ChatGPT took less than 5 days to reach 1 million users. It's going to be like that from now on, right? What you know today may not be relevant tomorrow. So what we're looking for is actually people who can drop what they know and learn very, very quickly to move on to the next one. So all the best.
Thanks, Anand. I think this question is for you, Katie. What's your advice for people who are thinking of their next career move or even pivoting?
Sure. The first advice I have is plan early, especially if it's career pivoting. I think it might not happen instantly. It might not happen very quickly. You really need time to prepare, to investigate the new direction that you are going, investigate the business environment, the industry, and the culture, and the skill sets. And you might also including the impact to your current life, impact to your family. A lot of, I think, factors to consider. So plan early, make necessary the preparation, take a certification or take some related trainings. The second advice I'd like to share is to connect with the people in the new direction. I think, firstly, is let people know that you're looking for opportunity. Secondly, is I think the people would gives you insights from future and from forward-looking perspective. And you can also feel from the real person that are they the one that you would like to become. And I think connecting with people and plan early are the two advice I'd like to give.
Great advice, Katie. Let me try to squeeze in one more question for the panelists. We have been seeing quite a few questions about finding roles within Cisco with a range of experience levels and skills. We are wondering, panelists, do you have any tips or suggestion for entry level? What is the typical minimum requirements for this kind of role in Cisco for entry level or very early in career candidates? Do you have any tips or suggestion? What is a good entry level role to join in Cisco?
So just if I can take a stab at that, and then I'll pass it on to maybe Doreen. Going by Kathy's experience and even mine to a certain extent, right? We both got into Cisco at a very early stage in our career, and probably in a large part of my career I owe to that early stage. So there are multiple ways in which you can get into Cisco. There are multiple roles. Obviously, keep a watch on the Cisco Careers website to be able to find out which one is suitable for you. But I do know that there are entry-level roles or entry-level functions that exists in almost every department inside the company, depending on where you are, which location you're from, and what's your preferential location for working with Cisco. You should find what exists in that location and then look for that. So for example, there might be engineering, like development. There might be support, like TAC, or even CX from a professional services perspective. There could be even sales, and I was lucky enough to get into technical sales at an early point in my career when I was way back in Mumbai. So I would say keep a watch on the website. There are always positions that are opening up, and you might find one that suits you.
Thanks, Anand. Anything to add, Doreen or Kathy?
Yeah, I would echo, Anand on what he mentioned. And also, we will be share the career portal. So you will be able to check, the available roles and do subscribe that so that it will actually auto push the roles that is available when, that is open. So watch that out. We will share the link.
Thanks, Doreen. I think this is all the time we have for our Q&A session. Thank you so much for submitting your questions, but do continue to ask your question in the Q&A panel. Our panelists will be here to continue answer them. And you are also welcome to share any of your key takeaways or insights with us in the chat. We would love to hear that. Thank you so much again for all our panelists.
Thank you.
So sorry for unexpected technical issues here.
Control, acelera y freno se control. Porque la hora la manejo yo. Con control. Salimos lento, pero pegado. Todo va muy rápido, voy a parar el tiempo. Se posa los minutos cuando yo meneo tu cuerpo. Me quedo parada a ver qué es lo que de... No hay tiempo, ni dimensión, ni presión. Como escucho el ritmo de la canción. Segundo ni minuto. Acelera y freno sin control.
A cyber attack can grind everything to a halt. Cisco Security keeps your network and your company moving forward. Because if it's connected, it's protected. Cisco,
I'll now pass it on, introducing our next presenter, Huma Hamid from Cisco U. Over to you, Huma.
So much, and I'm really excited to be here. This is Huma Hamid, and I'm originally based in the US, but this week I am in London for a product and UX training, and I'm really excited to be joining. It's 5 a.m. here, and but the energy, that with the panel and everything is so high, so I'm super excited. I'm a senior product manager with Cisco U as part of learning and certifications team. And I go by my introduction. I've been working in tech for more than 17 years, and I have held multiple different roles in engineering and product management, in program management. So it's really about building technology, and I may have held, multiple different variations of how I contribute in making tech. So I go by tech maker. I've also worked in 3 different global locations, and also transitioned in multiple different companies. And currently my role with Cisco has been, I've been part of Cisco for the last 8 years. I'm a first generation immigrant to the US, which means I started my career at Cisco, but I have had education in the UK, and most of the part of my life I have lived in Pakistan. I'm a first generation engineer. If anyone in the audience is looking for inspiration, that you may be the first one doing this, and nobody else in your circle has done this before. So there is a lot that you can do. Within Cisco, just like I mentioned, I'm part of Cisco U team, which is our new learning experience platform, and I lead the learner experience team. And we have gone through 0 to 1, which is a term used in product management when you're launching a brand new experience. And currently Cisco U has more than 250K users all across the globe. I'm not just passionate about building products. I'm also passionate about building thriving global communities. So that's how I pay back. And also I receive a lot of support through those communities. I've been part of Women of Cisco America's board. I lead multiple programs as part of that. I currently advise to a nonprofit called Global Women Asia, and mentor their fellows, who are people very similar to you looking for leadership opportunities and inspiration in STEM. I have also led a few programs for Cisco Women in Science and Engineering team, mostly focusing on understanding, how social justice and inclusive innovation, what's the overlap of that. And I also sometimes volunteer for different nonprofit organizations within Pakistan and also in the US. So this is basically me telling you, or sharing with you, that you don't have one dimension of career. You can be passionate about multiple different things, and over the time, all those things really start to build your brand, your identity, and how you navigate your your career in tech. And within Cisco, there is a thing that everybody has a profile based on their superpower or their strength, and mine is that I'm a pioneer and I'm a stimulator, which means I really get excited when we are building on new ideas, when we're exploring something we haven't done before. And that's where my global exposure, my journey through different countries and different job roles and different domains really come into play. And I use all of that to create the products that I build, to help the teams that I'm part of, and also to build the communities that I've been part of. My greatest value as a team member at Cisco is my excitement about the unknown and the untested. And this is something that becomes a superpower, especially in product management, and especially when you're building products, for global communities. One of the questions that people ask, like, how do we, transition? Maybe there is only one path to career. Just like I mentioned, I started my career as an engineering, but over time I realized that, as you exposed to different things, your experiences change, your education and learning aspirations change, and all of that really start building who you are, and it's unique to you. And I have always leveraged the power of community, the power of mentors around me, and the power of certifications, to learn the new skills and to keep building on those skills whenever a new role was available to me or whenever I had new career aspirations. So in the last 1 year, more than 1 year, I would say, we've been, looking into AI and how AI is used in product management. And even this week, here in London, the focus is like how user experiences and products can be used, and what's the intersection of artificial intelligence in building those products. So that's where I would leave you with this note that your career is very unique to you. It really depends on in everything that you create that inspires you, everything that you have done, your background, your experiences, people that you come across, and the opportunities that you come across. All of really that makes a career, that is exciting and worth pursuing in tech. And also, there is no one way of achieving career. You can pivot, you can transition, you can learn new skills, you can get excited about new opportunities, and that's where the training, the learning, and community and mentorship helps you to navigate. And with that message, I would love to pass on the ball to Shweta, who will be taking you to the next session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Huma. And really, really exciting that there are so many questions which is coming up in terms of certification, in terms of career in Cisco. And my portion is just so much apt for it. I would like to start with why work at Cisco. I think there are a lot of ways to say that, but I would like to say in terms of what our people say. This is the word cloud which you are able to see on your screen. It comes from our people. They are the one, when there is a great place to work survey, these are the words which comes out of our employees, and they say it is the culture, it is the people, it is the opportunities, benefits, and amazing culture and people, and tech and customer experience, what people really love about Cisco, and that's why they stay to Cisco, and that's why they really want to work with Cisco. So that's the starting. But for me, and it's really nice feeling when you hear these kind of big words from your employees. Now we are also one of the best place to work. We are not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row as a best place to work in US and many other countries. This is a really great feeling for Cisco to be recognized, and it's just not happened by its own. There is a lot of efforts, emphasize leadership, attention, and the companies really want to be at that place where people feel comfortable and growing. So I really want to say that this is a great feeling when you work in an organization which is one of the best place to work. Nowadays, I think a lot about purpose. Everybody who is interested to join any other organization or planning to do something like certification or upskilling, reskilling yourself, it's always about what is the purpose you're driven with. And so do Cisco. The purpose for us is inclusive future for all. We want to minimize the digital divide, and I would say close the digital divide. We are talking about equality. So I think a lot of people talk about equality, equity. We talk about social justice. These are not just the buzzword in Cisco. We live these values day in and day out. And that's where we make this place one of the best place to work. We are very high on inclusion. We really live our inclusion and diversity value. We really seek whenever there is any opportunity which comes where we have to hire internally and externally, we always look for what is the best possible way to make teams more and more inclusive and more diverse, which in turns results in a better outcome and better culture at the organization. We also have to just empower our vision, empower our purpose. We have EROs in place. So you can see many EROs in Cisco. These are the EROs where we're really driven. We really feel great about it, and they are really empowered with the leadership support and Cisco's purpose. There are women in technology, then there is CAN, then there is disability, there is pride. These are the few I'm just calling out. But if you see on my screen, there are a number of EROs, which is part of Cisco's culture, and we continue to embrace, continue to invest in these EROs to make our organization much more diverse and inclusive. So what is like, we talk about people, our inclusivity, and our incredible benefits. These are the things which really stands out, and we would talk more about it. And I think this is the section which most of you must be waiting for. Who we hire, and when it comes to hiring, how do we look at it, right? So instead of, so the way we are going to talk in this section is like, I'm going to share the different kind of personas and diverse profiles and the diverse line which is available in Cisco. If you're someone who is interested in sales, if you have experience in B2B sales, industry experience, proven track record, and you have familiarity with Cisco product, or you're interested in Cisco product or similar product, then you can definitely explore sales role. If you have experience in client-facing experiences, you are the one. So these are the kind of personas we look for in sales. Our scope of looking at skills is pretty wide. We look for essentials, and then we build on it based on your expertise, your experiences, what you bring to, what you bring new, and how excited you are to upskill and to do new things in your career. When we talk about CX, which is customer experience, definitely, as the name says, we are looking for people, those who are obsessed with their customer experience, those who really keep customers at the center, have experience in network infrastructure, experience with implementation, troubleshooting, project management, and ability to analyze the complex technical issues and able to figure out what is broken and how they fix it. So that's the CX persona, customer experience. We really look forward, and I think the certification which we are talking about here again and again are really, really important part of the CX. If you have experience and certificate, it just makes it so good together. And then we talk about engineering. We have wide variety of range of roles available in engineering, wherein we actually do a hire for skills, which means if you have experience working in any core and strong technical skills, it does not go by the language very specifically, but if you are very strong technically and have experience in working in modern technology and trends and portfolio, and you're able to experience and showcase your portfolio of successful projects delivered, and how client-facing capabilities you have, and your basically your problem-solving skills are really, really important. So this is how we look for engineering. Then we have something called IT and corporate function kind of a role, wherein we look for people, those who are related experience in UX, automation, AI, cloud, agile, network management, IT support readiness, and strategy and planning. So these are the role in broad sense. You will look into when you explore Cisco career site, you will see. I would really encourage you to see what exactly does match to your interest, your experience range, and what you want to do next in your career, and apply for those roles. If you don't see it right now, please subscribe so that you get notification when you have the roles available, and that really helps. I think we are almost on time, so we'll just say one more thing. There are a lot of Cisco benefits which is available. There are few which is really near to my heart, which is like critical time off and expert medical opinion. I think this is unique because we many times get into a situation wherein we don't know what to do, and the Cisco really provides scope for us to do things differently and take care of our family and our and colleagues. So I'll give it back to you, Vivian, to take us to home.
Thank you, Sweta, and thank you, Huma, as well, on your sharing. It made me so proud to be a Cisconian, and I hope everyone find this useful and helpful as well. Before we close, we really also like to invite you to check out the Cisco certification communities, where you can find peer support and guidance for your learning and certification goals, plus tons of resources to help you get ready for your exams. On top of that, we also have community.cisco.com, where you can find troubleshooting tips, best practices, events, and discussion related to Cisco products and services. Join these collaborative peer-to-peer support communities to connect, learn, and share. As your next steps, do explore these few sites. The URL links will be also posted in the chat window for you to save for later. Do note that a survey will pop out as you exit the event. We will really appreciate it if you can take 2 minutes to provide your feedback to help improve our next event. And with that, this concludes our session. We really appreciate your time and attendance. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really like to thank all our panelists, presenters, and the moderators as well. This event was brought to you by Cisco Learning and Certifications in collaboration with Cisco Talent Acquisition Team. Have a great day. Thank you.